Hi and welcome to this video on modifying data in Python. In the last couple of videos, we have learned different techniques for subsetting data in Python. In this video, we will see certain challenges that you face when you are working in data science in a real-world scenario. And we will learn how you can solve those challenges using Pandas. First of all, like always, let's load the Pandas library and then read the dataset. And let's visualize the data. And here is our data with rows and columns. So when you are working with real-world data, having missing values in one or two columns is a very regular thing. Let's see if our Big Mart sales data has any missing values. In order to check whether we have missing values or not, we are using isNA function that basically gives you true or false Boolean-based values to tell whether a value is missing or not. And .sum function at the end that will basically total the number of missing values. So let's run this piece of code. And now we see that we have 1463 missing values in the item weight column. And for the outlet size column, we have 2410 missing values. Now, before we can start with imputing the missing values in these two columns, let's first get the rows in which item weight is missing. So in order to do that, we will use the log utility here. And inside the log, we write this condition, data.itemWeight.isNA equals true. So remember, I told you that isNA function essentially gives you true or false for each value to tell you whether the value is missing or not. So that's why we are using it here. The condition is for the item weight column, if the output isNA function is true, then return the row. So when we run this logic here, you will see that we get as many rows as 1463 rows. So that's what we got here. And each row, the item weight is NaN. So that means it's a missing value. Now the next thing that we can do to fix this missing value is we can replace all the missing values or fill all the missing values by the mean of this column. So essentially, for whichever item we do not have the weight, we'll just fill in the mean weight of all the items there. Why you fill with the mean values? This is something that you will learn in business analytics course. Just a rule of thumb, a basic way of fixing missing values is, and when you're dealing with numerical column, you impute by the average of the column. So now I want to fill the item weight column of this data frame with the mean of the item weight. So the way we do is we again going to use log utility. And in the log utility, first of all, we will use the same condition that gave us all the rows in which item weight is missing. Then in the column section of the log utility, we fix the item weight column by selecting item weight column. So let's see what this code gives us. So we got only those rows where it's missing. So now, because we want to replace all of these missing values with the mean of the item weight column, we can first calculate the mean of the item weight column by using this piece of code, data.itemWeight.mean. And the value is 12.857 and so on. Now, when I run this piece of code here, all of these rows in which the item weight columns had missing values will be replaced by 12.857. Let's do that. Let's run this one. And now if I use the same logic of checking the missing values here, you will see that item weight column has no missing values. So this was item weight. Now let's try to fix outlet size. Now if you remember from our initial head of the data, you know that outlet size is actually a categorical column. And we can see that by data.dtypes. When you run this, you'll find out outlet size is object, which is a categorical data. Because the data type is object, and if you just print the value of outlet size by using data.head, you will see that outlet size is medium, high, and small. And as I told you some time ago, that when you are trying to fix missing values in a categorical column, you replace the missing values by the category that has the most frequency. And the most frequency is something that we get using the mode of the data. So let's run this piece of code. So what I'm doing is I'm seeing the outlet size column and finding the mode of that column. So medium is the mode of the column. Medium is the value or the category that has repeated the most in the outlet size column. And let me check once more time. I'll just here say data.outlet size, and then I'll use value underscore counts function. And when you run this one, you will see that medium is repeated the most, 2,793 rows. So we were right. The medium is actually the mode of this column. Now previously, if you remember how we replaced the item weight column, we were using item weight.isNA equals true, and we were calling item weight column, and that equals to the mean of the item weight. Now we are going to use the same logic here, but this time we are going to replace item weight with outlet size, and outlet size.isNA equals true is going to give us the rows that has missing values, and then we will call the outlet size column, and that is equal to medium. That's what we can do to replace the missing values with the mode of the data. So we can do this code the same log method, but apart from that, there's a simpler way to impute missing values in Pandas. And this way, which I recommend you to use again and again, and this is using the fillNA function. The fillNA function, as the name suggests, basically takes a column of your data frame, and you can pass the value here, whatever value you want to replace the missing values with. In place equal to true, basically make sure that this happens in the original data frame. And the minute you run this piece of code, you will see that all missing values are going to be replaced by medium in the outlet size column. So if I do isNA.sum function, you will see that we have no missing values in the outlet size column. Using fillNA, you can even solve this challenge of imputing the values of item weight column. In fact, this is something that I recommend you to go ahead and try on your own. And just in case if you face any doubts, you can always go to the official documentation of the fillNA function to learn what each parameter means, how to call the function, and a couple of examples on how you can use this function. And this is how you find the missing values and fill the missing values. And in the next video, we will continue with other challenges that you have with modifying the data. Thank you for watching this video.